language, but we are dealing with Arabic today, or Arabic. But that's true in every human language. We speak and read in syllables. Every syllable has to have a vowel sound in it. I repeat, every syllable has to have a vowel sound in it. Every syllable does not have to have a consonant in it. In other words, and we will show you this in demonstrating the 4 types of syllables. We do have 10 syllables, and 10 syllables only in the Arabic language that do not have consonants in them. I repeat, we have 10 syllables, and 10 syllables only that do not have consonants in them. Now notice I didn't say consonant sounds, because that's the correction that needs to be made. I made the mistake when I was teaching myself. And I would tell the people, the children, that there were vowel sounds and consonant sounds. And that's a conflict in the word itself. Consonant means, con means with, sonant means sound. So they go with sound. They do not represent sound. They go with sound. That's what the word tells you. Con means with. Sonant means sound. So they go with sound. How do they go with sound? Either as a position in which to start making the sound. Consonants represent positions. That's what we're saying. They represent positions in which to start or stop making a sound. So now let's deal with the 10 syllables that do not have consonants in them. And at the same time, we'll also be dealing with the 10 vowel sounds, because they are the 10 syllables, the 10 vowel sounds. They're also 10 syllables. And the vowel, I didn't give you the definition of a vowel. This is Gene's definition of a vowel, by the way. So this one you're going to find in the dictionary. V-O, in the word vowel, V-O is coming from voice. And the W-E-L is coming from vowel. So you know the vowel is what we throw out, right? And the voice out. That's where the voice comes out, with the vowels. Now we could wrestle about that as long as you want to, but I'm still going to win, because I know I know when Allah showed me that. And by the way, when Allah shows me something, I'm not ashamed of it, and I don't claim it like I sat down and researched it. He just showed it to me. Just like he showed me the syllabication system. All right? So in reality, we said 10, but in reality, we only have 3 sounds. And then those 3 sounds can either be shortened or combined, mixed up. You know, 2 different vowels pronounced together. So you'll see this as we go across here. The black marking that we have on the board here does not represent sound. Anything that's black on the board does not represent sound. The only thing that now this is not the way Arabic is written now in black and red. I'm doing this for demonstrative purposes so that you can easily see what represents sound. Only the red represents sound. I repeat that. Only the red writing represents sound. I also repeat the fact that don't expect that the rest of your Arabic career, pursuit in the Arabic language, that you're going to be finding black and red writing. That's just something that we're doing here to demonstrate, to make it easier for you to see. You know, because all of these marks to a new person are just a bunch of funny marks. So if we tell you the red ones represent sound and the black ones represent positions for sound, then hopefully that'll make it a little easier for you, all right? So here we have the vowel sound, eh. Everybody say that after me. Eh. After me. Eh. The next sound is E. And the next sound is O. Now, the little black thing here is called a hamza. Here, hamza. We only use it so that you'll know the difference between this and this. You wouldn't know the difference between and E if we didn't have the hamza to show you that. For the sound, the mark is above the hamza, and for E is below. And so just to keep it consistent, then we put the U on the hamza also. Hamza is a dummy letter. meaning it does not represent any sound at all, not even a position from which to start making a sound. It's just a dummy letter so that you'll know what sound is there. By the same token, because this is the question that came up in Juma, a believer asked me Juma last Friday. What is this mark? She was pointing to in the first line of the Al-Fatiha. She said, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. She recognized that the A was the A sound. So what's this straight mark? It is no more than this one. Anytime you put a vowel sign above or below this letter here, A, it is no longer Aleph, and it can be confusing if you call it Aleph. I'll give you the most confusing situation that I've seen that demonstrated, where the person was saying that this was Aleph, and then to demonstrate it, they had it using it to spell Islam, and so they had the Kesra down there. How you doing? So now isn't that confusing? This is Aleph, and then you say Islam. It should be Islam. If it's Aleph, at least it should be. This is no more than this when you put a vowel sign above it or below it. All right. It's only Aleph if there's no vowel sign on it. The same mark will be no more than the Hamza, just a position so that you know where the vowel sound is. All right. That's another reason for it, because that was just recent, this past Friday. Someone asked me that, and I thought everybody knew that. But then that person probably wasn't in the class when we started. And we don't want to say, well, you can't come in. We're not restricted like that. You can't come in until next semester. You can come in anytime, and we'll start with where you are and try to bring you up to date, all right? So the 10 sounds. The first 3, after me. E, ooh. Now those are the sounds, and then we can shorten those sounds. We get E, ooh. Now you notice I use the same signs over here to lead into, because the long sounds, you use the short sounds to lead into them, okay? So it's not separated, but it lead into it, all right? So then that's three short, and then we have these same 3 sounds, E, ooh, and these 2 vowels of this one, we don't mix it with anything, all right? So we take the A and mix it with the ooh, mix it with the E, we get A-E. Say A-E. Say it faster. A. There's your A, which shows us a conflict in the English language. English tells you that A is a vowel. These are long vowels, these are short vowels, and these are called diphthongs. D-I-P-H-T-H-O-N-G-S. Diphthongs. I mean, a diphthong is when you take 2 different vowels, mix them together to produce a new sound. This is neither A nor is it E. It's A. And that's your A. All right. And of course, we've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again now, that you can see a demonstration of this if you pick up a dictionary. No, we don't have much need for books, period, now, because we got our smartphone and anything we need, we just pick up the smart. I do it too. Okay, saves time. But if you take the time, you run into a dictionary somewhere, and if it's not going too fast, slow it up. Hold up, dictionary, and look up the word Caesar. We call it Caesar. C-A-E-S-A-R. And you'll see that they have the A and the E tied together, not separated, tied together in the dictionary. They're tagged to each other. Because at that time, they recognized that A was A. So, and to prove it, ask a Latino person who speaks Spanish. Ask them how to pronounce that same word that we call Caesar, and they'll tell you it's what? Caesar. Caesar. All right. So the one of those A's is tied to an E, and that's how you get A, and the other one is A. All right. All right. So these are your 10 sounds. Let's review them again, because I'm not sure whether I got all the way across. I didn't get all the way across with the diphthongs. All right. A, E, and then we take the A, the same A, and mix it with ooh. We get A-O. 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 That also confirms what we've been told, and that is that there's no O in Arabic. Because O is a diphthong. It's A plus U. A-U. A-U. Say it fast enough. A-U. 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 You get to the O yet? A-U. All right, that's your O. All right. Okay. So we do have the sound, but not an old letter. We have the old sound in Arabic, old sound, but not an old letter. All right? And then, now those two diphthongs are mentioned in the Arabic book that you will pick up. These last two, they are not called diphthongs in other books. They don't call them in. They act like they don't even exist. Yet when you get to the Quran, you will find them. You'll find iu, you'll find ui. I can think of a word right now with ui in it, and the one that you'll be able to find very easily. If you remember the part of the Quran, I can't remember exactly where it is now, but the part of the Quran where it says the wrongdoers, the doom of the wrongdoers when their wrongdoing becomes fair seeming to them. The wrongdoing, the word for wrongdoing that they're translating for wrongdoing is zu'yina. Zu'yina. That's the word for wrongdoing. Okay? All right. I can't think of one right now for EU, but like I noticed another one is one in Surah Al-Rahman for UI, but I can't think of where it is right now just off the top of my head. But UI is throughout the Quran. EU and UI is throughout the Quran. The most frequent EU sounds, EU, which would be this one, is actually when a word ends in kesratain. That's where you have two kesras on, ends in kesratain, and it's followed by, I'm going to make this sound, it's followed by this. Shadda. A shadda is on whack. Anytime you see, I'm going to erase that, but anytime you see this, that means that it's two of these. And the first one is going with the word before it. So if you have the word before this ending in this, like I'm just doing like that. Ew, that's the way you get the ew. You reduce the in to kesra and join it with whack. Ew, whack. Ew, whack. All right? Okay. I know you probably, if you haven't been paying close attention, you've probably just been ignoring that shaddat, but you can't do it. If you do that, if you ignore the shaddat, then how are you going to get to the wow, or to the whack? To the whack. So a shaddat tells us, with that little W ahead of that tells us that there are two of the letters. The first one has a sukoon on it, and the second one has the vowel, whatever vowel is there. So if it has a sukoon on it, then that means that it is the stopping place, because that's what the sukoon means. It means a place to stop. Let me see where we have, okay. That's the place to stop. Place to stop. We're stopping in the E. So this is the sukoon. This is sukoon. This is the first time we're using sukoon here, 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 and here. 4 sukoon on the, okay. So remember that sukoon is black, which means that what? It is not representing sound, but it is telling you where to stop the sound. To stop the sound on the red, okay? Again, I reiterate that the red is representing sound, so not something that you would expect in Arabic language anywhere you find it, but this is here for demonstration purposes. All right, so now that's syllable type 1. We'll review all of syllable type 1 now, and this, by the way, there are no other syllable type 1s in the whole language except these 10. So repeat them after me. Short. Diphthong. Master those 10 sounds, and then all you have to do is, as far as the consonants, is learn where the consonants are tell you to make these 10 sounds. If you have a word that doesn't have one of these 10 sounds in it, it's not Arabic. Just that simple. So the only thing you have to worry about, which is enough, because we have quite a few consonants. If we have 28 alphabets, and 3 of them are vowels, we have a, e, u. How many consonants are there in the language? 5.
You said 25.
25. That's a trick question. All right. There are 25 pure consonants. But when we use, now this one you can't do anything extra with it. But when you put a vowel sign above or below this, then it becomes a consonant. It's a vowel now. Put a vowel sign above or below this, it becomes a consonant. You put a vowel sound above or below this, it doesn't bother the vowel sound at all. It's just the vowel sound. It doesn't bother. These two will affect it. It would be ya, ye, you, ya, wah, we, woo. Here it would just be ah, e, oo. So it's not going to affect it if you put it on this side. So these two are what I call part-time consonants. Part-time consonants mean when you put a vowel sound above or below it, then it becomes a consonant. All right? Now, to demonstrate with these same 10 sounds, there are 4 types of syllables. The other 3 types. This is type 1. The other 3 types. We're going to take this letter, which is the second, the one with the dot on it, the black letter with the dot on it, which represents a position. I'm not going to go through the little trick question that I asked you about, tell me what the first consonant is in English. I'm not going to go through that today, okay? But it represents a position. The position that this letter with the 1 dot on it here tells us to put our lips together. I see some people putting lips together already. They're ahead of it. Okay. Put your lips together and you're going to say one of these 10 sounds for type 2 from this position. Why? Because in syllable type 2, the consonant gives you a position from which to start making the sound. So we're going to go to the position. This letter tells us to go to this position. Am I on the camera now? So it tells you to go to this position. And from that position, we're going to say these 10 sounds. So we get ba, be, boo. Ba, be, boo. Ba, ba-oo, be-oo, boo-ee. All right? From that same position. Now, of course, we have 26 more positions that we could use. Remember the 25 full consonants, and then we had two extra ones, and so now we've used one. So these 2 could go for. Well, it wouldn't do it except for 25 positions. Because if you put E, then that'll be E. No, yeah, that's right. All 20. We have 27 syllable type 2 positions. 10 across here, and 27 consonants to start from. So how many syllable type 2 are there in the whole Arabic language? We already agreed we had 25 full-time consonants and 2 part-time consonants. These 2 part-time consonants can work in syllable type 2. If you start from those 27 positions and say these 10 vowels, how many syllables would you have in the language? Oh, I see you mathematicians. You just scared. Arabic and Arab produced the decimal system. All right, so it's not foreign to the arithmetic that you know. When I was a boy, they used to tell us that that the numbers that we used in arithmetic were Indo-Arabic numbers. They don't talk about it now. They just call them numbers. But they're called meaning Indian and Arabic, because it was I think it's the part of India that's now Pakistan. I believe it was where the person was from that came up with the 0 that made before that they were counting 1I1, 2I2, 3I3, IV4. Well, what's IV4 times 3I? They couldn't do anything with it, you see. So now I'm asking you to do something with 27 consonants and 10 vowels. How many syllables is that going to be?
27.
Not 2,700.
270.
270. Yeah, 270. Too many zeros. You got carried away with the zeros. You must go. Okay. 270. There are 270 syllable type 2 in the whole language. Now, syllable type 3 is going to be just the reverse of syllable type 2. Syllable type 2 was a starting position for these 10 sounds. Syllable type 3 is going to be the stopping position for these 10 sounds. And what did I do? I left off the stopping position for the first one. So let me just put it on put it up there so you can see it's black. All right. So now, ab. Place to stop the air, and I'm making the sounds extremely long so that you can hear for demonstration purposes. It's not really that long. It's longer than a though, but I'm making it real long so you can hear and distinguish it. This is a, and then we're going to stop here. Ab, and then eb, oob, ab, eb, oob, aib, aoob, oob. I'm sorry, eoob. weeb, all right? Meaning that the same position that we start. Now you can use any of the consonants for this. But when you get to syllable type 3, contrary to what we said about syllable type 2, where there were 270, there are actually only 250 of why? Because when you put a sukoon on this, then the ya and the wa, then it becomes a diphthong, you see. So what we'll be trying to say, use it as a stopping position, it would be ae. It would just be ae. That's really which is what we have over here already. Ae, au. Okay. So for syllable type 3, there are only 250, because you only have 25 consonants to work with. All right, 250. Okay. When this is used in that situation, then they become vowels. Okay. All right, and that's what you use. So when we get here, what do we have it? We have it right. Well, oh yeah, right here. Aib. If we took the a and mix it with e, we get aib. Aib, which is aib. Okay. Or just as a stopping position, it wouldn't be aib, it'd just be ae. Ae. That would be a stopping position. Okay. If we took the e, let's see, and put it behind the long a. Ae. Which is not a syllable. We don't have a syllable like that. But that's what would happen. Okay, now syllable type 4, and I'm just really kind of going through this. I think most of you have this already, but just want to make sure that anyone who's new to it has. Syllable type 4 is a combination of syllable type 2 and 3. 2 is a consonant in a starting position to make these 10 sounds. 3 is a consonant in a stopping position making these 10 sounds. And 4 is a starting and stopping position. We start with a consonant, we say each one of these 10 sounds and stop with a consonant. I use the same consonant throughout, but it could be a different consonant on each end, and you could switch them around. But just for demonstration purposes, I use the same consonant. And why do I like that consonant? Because it's easy to do. Some consonants are in the mouth kind of thing that you can't see. So for instance, the consonant H, it's inside the consonant S. You can't see, you can hear, you know it because but the S, that's inside, but that you can see that. I can show you that from the outside. I can show you but I have to open my mouth so you can see, but that's inside. It's on the tongue, on the teeth, okay? So we use this one that we use for this demonstration because it's easy for you to see where I am. And because you speak English, the others you can hear and you know where those consonants are. But the biggest part of learning to read Arabic, if you will agree to learn the syllabification system, the most difficult after that is to learn what each consonant is telling you to do. It tells you where to start or where to stop. And we do need to, that is important. So I'm not belittling it, but the most important thing to know is that there are only 10 sounds, and the rest of the letters are just going either before or after, or both before and after. Either a combination, either before, after, or a combination of being before and after to produce syllables. All right? Any questions or comments on this? And remember, we reviewed it for 2 reasons. Number 1 is there may be some new people that didn't get it when we first started. When we started 2012, I think it was the last. Was December 2012. Yeah. These are. So you may have missed it back then. And the other thing was that recently I was reviewing what we have on Mosque. So the reason why I was reviewing it because one of my students. All right, I'm ready. One of my students that I had when I was working in the prison, he has gone and assembled all of the Arabic lessons. You cut it off, but I still know why. All of the Arabic lessons that we have in chronological order. So you don't have to search. You're on Mosque, you have to search to find this lesson. He got them all in chronological order. So I'm going to tell you what his name is, or you can go to my Facebook site. And because what I did was I borrowed it from him. I just took it, I uploaded it from his Facebook page to mine. But he has, I don't even know whether he has them all up there, but at that time he had them all up there. And that is, his name is Najjar, 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 Abdul Kawi, this is Kawi, Abdul, it means, it has to do with painting. No. Let me, it's an attribute, let me see. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, Al-Salam, Al-Muhmad, Al-Muhaymin, Al-Aziz, Al-Jabbar, Al-Mutakabbir, Al-Khaliq, Al-Bari, Musawiya, that's his name, Musawiya. Najjar Abdul Musawiya, which the giver of colors. He's an artist. And so everything, one part of his name has to do with sculpture, and the other part has to do with painting. And I mentioned him to you because, as I told you, I met him in prison, and guess where he is now? He is a tenured professor at Southern Illinois University in Champaign. And where I found out about him was he kept in touch with one of my daughters, because one of my daughters got a doctorate from down there, and another one worked down there for a while. So they wound up, and he found out that we were celebrating my coming to Chicago 60 years ago last August. And he asked if he could come. He came all the way from Carbondale to be here with us. So that's one success story from prison that I'm very happy about. And that is, he got out of prison, went on back to school. He doesn't have a doctorate, but he does have a master's degree. And he's working as an art professor at Southern Illinois University, as well as the fact that he does art shows all over the world, not just in his actual name is Najjar Abdul Musawiya. All right, and all of that has to do, except the Abdul means a servant. So he is a sculptor, and he's a servant of the giver of colors. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Yes, ma'am.
On the last two lines, could you read the last word on each line?
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay, on this line.
Yes, and on the bottom one.
On the bottom. Okay.
The last words of each line.
Okay.
Okay.
Biub, Buib.
Buib.
Yeah. Biub, Buib.
Okay, one above that.
Eub, because you didn't have the starting, but you start with the vowel. Eub, Uib. The difference is that here you're starting from, you got a starting position. Here your starting position is the vowel itself.
So you give the E a sounding, huh?
The E. Right here.
And the last letter.
Uib. Yeah, uib, because this is the diphthong. Uib. Zui, remember I told you, zui, you know? Uib. Yes, the E has a sound, yes. Ui.
Okay.
That's the diphthong. Iu, ui. These are the two that your Arabic books don't tell you are diphthongs. I had one brother who has made this transition now. He confronted me when he first started. He said, there are only two diphthongs. And when I showed him this, he said, you're right. When I showed him, I said, how else are you going to pronounce it? I said, that's what a diphthong is. It's when you mix two different vowels to produce a new sound. As a matter of fact, some of you remember Brother Johnny Shabazz. Imam Johnny Shabazz. He made his transition now, but when he saw it, and Imam Elam is a scholar also, and he doesn't argue with me about this. All right. Even though they don't, like in Arabic, they tell you that there are just two types of syllables. So I might as well correct that since I got a couple more minutes, unless someone else has another question. They said that, but you know what they say, there are two types of syllables? Open and closed. When they say open, they mean that they end in a vowel sound. When they say closed, they mean that they end in a consonant position. Well, both of this is syllable type 1, which does not have a consonant in it at all, but all of these end in a vowel sound. And this is where you start from a consonant position, but you end in a vowel sound. So that's two types of syllables, because these two are not exactly the same. The sounds are the same in all of them. You only got 10 sounds, that's going to be used in every syllable. But here there are 10 open, open beginning and open on both ends. You start off with the opening and close with opening. Here, you start off from a closed position. So that makes it different from this. This one you start off from an open position and end in an open position. Here you're starting. I just learned something else myself. I was supposed to explain this, and that is that this is not. They're not nearly the same because this one is starting in a closed position. Bah, bah, that's closed. Starting here. Bah. This is starting open, and wow, thank you. I just learned something else about the whole system that Allah blessed me to see, and that is that this is opening in the beginning and the end. Here we start with a closed position and end and opening. And here we start with an open position and end and the closing. And here we start with a closed position and end with a closed position. So they are, I knew it was right all the time, but it just became clear to me also here. And that is that this is a different starting position. This is a closed starting. All right? So we did get something else out of it. And by the way, any other questions? Teach what you learn. Teach what you learn. You won't run out. Every time you try to teach, you're going to get more out of it yourself. I've been working with this for 30 years, over 30 years, since 1982, 35 years. 35 years, Allah, in 1982, Allah blessed me to see. I didn't have it all together, but I began to see it in 1982. After I've been working in the prison for about 5 years, and the brothers were pushing me more and more, telling us, and Allah blessed me to see it. So since 1982, I recognize the types of syllables. And here today, 35 years later, Allah blessed me to see more. You're going to run out if you share it. Also, if you're on the Lifeline this morning, they played, and I'm sure they have the CD out here also. Imam Muhammad's CD on Gog and Magog. All right? And he says on that CD that he makes reference to something. I knew the prophet had said it also, but I hadn't thought to use it. The prophet said that if you learn one ayat, teach it. Whatever you learn, teach it. That's how it becomes yours. You keep going over it. When I say yours, I mean it becomes a part of you. I don't mean it belongs to you like you started up. But it becomes a part of you. As you share, it becomes a part of you. And it will just increase and continue to grow. And so I think that we're not doing enough of that. We're not sharing. We just assume, well, I got it, that's it. And guess what? When you don't share it, then you begin to lose it. You know? It becomes quieter and quieter in your being. When you share it, it becomes more and more meaningful. All right? We have 1.5 minutes, but I'm really finished unless someone does. Yes, sir.
I can't get out of my mind that you said that how that brother, he probably named himself, probably accepted Islam in prison, learned, became a believer.
And named him, he did.
Named himself, and then continued in the faith and became successful outside of it.
Yeah, I didn't. When he was in prison, I didn't know he was an artist. He knew he was.
Yeah.
He knew he was because that's what he did in high school. He didn't have a real big case. He didn't do a lot of time. All right, but he knew who he was. So yes, he chose his name based on what he had seen in the language. And by the way, he was studying the attributes. He studied the attributes with me. I don't bother you with, but a lot of times I recite the attributes just to keep it fresh in my mind. You notice how when I got ready to try to find his name, I recited them? All right. All of that's good. But one brother, he mentions this all the time about how, matter of fact, Imam Dawood, to tell you that, he mentions all the time about what the Imam said about the Quran, that the Quran is like a 24-hour washing machine. Well, what if you were what if you instead of just praying 5 times a day, if you actually have Quranic knowledge circulating in you all the time?